Hey, it's Christine, and it is Wednesday. I've recently been trying to put in a Wednesday vlog for you that doesn't have anything to do with the series that I'm currently doing, which right now is The Breeze. So today's topic, how to avoid getting sick when you're on a cruise ship. How did I come up with this topic? Because I've been hearing a lot of people talk recently about getting sick on a cruise ship. And I even know of somebody who recently got off a ship, the Breeze, the one we were on, and she's still sick. It's been 2 weeks and she's still sick. So she got sick while she was on the cruise. And that happens, guys. People can get sick while they're on the ship. They had no idea they were going to become sick, which means they could have been contagious when they first got on the ship. They could be contagious during the cruise. I mean, you just don't know. You're on the ship with anywhere from 2,000 to almost 6,000 people, and it's pretty close quarters. You can get sick, but there are precautions that you can take. I take them, and I wanted to share them with you. I think that it's important because there's a lot of people out there that are a little apprehensive about cruising due to not wanting to get sick. So I just want to say that these are my tips. They're things that I do, and I, knock on wood, have only been sick one time after getting off a ship, and it was not a cold. It was an infection, but it was not an infection that I could have got from anybody. It was an infection that I had had in my body for possibly years. Doctor said so. And it had nothing to do with respiratory system or anything like that. So other than that one time, I've never gotten sick. I've been on 19 cruises. I haven't got sick. I don't want to get sick. So I'm really cautious, and I take precautions before, during, and after the cruise that I will share with you. And guess what? Guess what? I have notes. You know, every time I do one of these impromptu vlogs for you, I always come unprepared and I have to just wing it. And I'm always struggling. What was it that I wanted to say? I didn't do that this time. So anyway, I'll just get started, and I will be reading my notes. So sorry, but I have to remind myself. So this is, I have 7 tips. I have a list of 7 things that I do to avoid getting sick on a cruise. All right, so the first thing is something that they always talk about on the cruise ships. You will always see them doing this, and it is important to do, and that's wash, wash, wash. You may think that their little songs are funny or silly, but it's really important. They have those wash stations for a reason, and if you're on an older ship that doesn't happen to have a wash station, go into one of the bathrooms. It's important to wash, not just use sanitizer. Now, I'm sorry to sound like your mom, but I do know some people just throw on the sanitizer and they can go the whole day just using the sanitizer and forget to actually wash their hands. So it's important. Take a few minutes throughout the day to wash your hands. Soap and water, guys. Make it warm, make it soapy, and let it last for more than 10 seconds. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, don't go if you've been sick or you feel like you're getting sick. Now, this one is a hard one because there's a lot of people who just ignore those signs and symptoms because they've paid a lot of money. Hopefully you've got trip insurance. And I always recommend people get trip insurance. I always get trip insurance because if I were to get sick, I would have to not go. Thankfully, I haven't had to be put to that test yet, but I hope that if the day ever comes that I do get sick or I think I'm getting sick, that I won't go on the ship because I could infect hundreds, if not thousands of people. So do the right thing and stay home if you're sick. I know that's a tough one. If you have trip insurance, though, you'll get your money back. Go to the doctor, make sure that you get a note from him or a copy of your records or whatever you need to do so that you can file a claim. saying that you were sick and could not get on the ship. Trust me, they don't want you on that ship. You'll get your money back. Minus any deductible or anything that applies. It depends on the policy that you get. All right, number 3, wipe down your cabin. All right, take a little travel package of antiseptic wipes and just wipe all the handles, all the doorknobs, wipe down the phone, the remote, wipe the railing out on your balcony if you have one, wipe down the fixtures in the bathroom, wipe down, as I said, all the handles on your closet, your drawers. Now, they do clean your room and sanitize your room before you get there, but maybe sometimes, somebody has a bad day and they don't do such a great job. Protect yourself. You can also take one of those little cans of Lysol spray. You can wipe down everything and then you can give it a little spray. Just a little extra security for you and your family. Okay, number 4. Now, this one is going to seem kind of crazy. In this day and age, you wouldn't think that you would see this, but I have, and that's why it's on my list. Do not share drinks and utensils. Guys, I saw it on the last cruise I was on. Now, I'm not saying that strangers walked up to strangers and took drinks off their drinks, but I saw within groups people sharing drinks and holding the spoon out or fork out for them to take, somebody else to take a bite. To be honest, I don't do that even in my everyday life. And I don't tend to get sick either. I don't like being sick, and I do have a tendency to get pneumonia, so I don't want to get sick. So I am very, very cautious. Eating off of somebody's utensil or drinking out of their drink is not something you should be doing. Definitely don't drink off their straw. If somebody is insisting and you want to do it, then at least drink off the glass. But consider this, if they're offering it to you, maybe they're offering it to others and maybe somebody else drank off the glass. I don't know. To me, it's not worth the risk. And I know I might sound like a germaphobe. I'm not. Think about it. Norovirus is a real thing that happens. It does not only happen on ships. It's just you hear about it mostly on ships. But it does happen. And the common cold happens. And the flu happens. All of these things happen. And you can avoid getting them if you don't share drinks, you don't share utensils, you keep clean. Just saying. Okay, number 5. All right, so I carry, and I wanted to show you this. Let me show you this. I carry a wristlet, a bag on my wrist when I travel. And actually, I use it all the time. And on the little wrist thing is my little sanitizer. Hey, you know what, guys? It's not glamorous. It's not pretty. It's probably not even cute. But I have it with me all the time when I'm traveling. Now, usually when I'm at home, I don't have that there. I just put a little antiseptic inside my purse. But when I am traveling, I do keep it on that. I keep that on my wrist, and I always have my sanitizer just handy. I don't even have to get into the bag. It's just hanging on the little wristlet strap. So I do use that. And you should sanitize often. I realize that there is the thought that if you sanitize too much that it becomes ineffective. I don't know. I don't do it constantly. Like today, I haven't sanitized once. I haven't needed to. I have soap and water and I use it. But there are times, especially on a cruise, and quite frankly, in your day-to-day life also. So just listen to what I have to say about the things I sanitize after while on a cruise, and you'll see that there's some that apply to your day-to-day life as well. Especially during flu season. You might not have to do it all the time. That might be some overkill, but during flu season, it's good to practice this on land as well. So some of this you might not think of, some of it you may. I sanitize on a cruise ship when I sit down to eat. If I touch a salt shaker, pepper shaker, or any other, condiment bottle that's on the table. even if I were to, move my chair, if I had already sanitized, but I picked up my chair and moved it, or moved the table, or anything where my hands would come in contact with something that everybody else's hands, thousands of people's hands could have come in contact with, I'll sanitize. The menus. If I'm touching a menu, I sanitize. So I try to not sanitize until just before I'm ready to eat, or after I have handed back the menu, at least. Otherwise, I'd be sanitizing over and over and over again. So I'll sit down, I'll read the menu. I don't eat any bread. I don't touch my utensils. I don't drink my water until I'm done ordering off the menu. Then I sanitize, and then I do whatever I want. Now that might sound kind of regimented, but I assure you, after doing it for so long, I've been on 19 cruises. That's where this came from, me being this way. It came from not wanting to get sick on a cruise. After doing it for the last, 5 years or so, it's just habit. It doesn't feel regimented to me at all. It's just the way I do things. So anyway, that's what I do. Elevators. I don't push the buttons with my fingertips. I push them with my knuckles. That's what I do. Knuckles. Only knuckles on public buttons. And that includes the buttons on the outside and the inside of the elevator. Rails, walking up and down the stairs. I try not to use them, but as I get older, it's important to use them. Please use the rails. Just sanitize. Now, there are sanitizers all over a ship, so you should be able to find one if you're not carrying one with you. I do really encourage you to get a small one that you can even put in a pocket, though, because every once in a while you can't find one or they're empty. On the Breeze, I swear to you, they were constantly empty. So, because I would rather use one for convenience sake that is just sitting there when I walk up rather than have to use my own. But sometimes, more often than not on the last cruise, they were empty. What else? Oh, here's a big one, guys. I guess this would be number 6. Keep your hands off your face. Keep your hands off your face. Don't touch your face, especially your eyes, mouth, nose. If you touch your eyes, mouth, or nose, then you're touching, those are entryways to your body. You don't want to do that. If you create a habit of not touching your face, then it's less likely that you're going to forget while you're walking around on a ship and you've been touching rails and touching doorknobs, and then you touch your eye and those germs go right into your body. Yeah, try not to do that. Try to keep your hands away from your face. I am not perfect about this, but I've been doing it long enough that when I do touch my face, I have a conscious thought, oh my gosh, why did I touch my face? So try not to touch your face. It will help a lot. It will greatly help you reduce your incidences of getting sick. Okay. Here's the one thing, and this is number 7, and it is the last thing, and it's the one thing that I do 100% before I get on the cruise, during the cruise, and after the cruise, and that is I take Emergen-C. If you've never heard of Emergen-C, it's EMERGN dash capital C, Emergen-C. Emergen-C is a heavy dose of vitamin C, and some of them, depending on the brand you get, also has antioxidants in it. And I honestly believe that it helps a lot to just boost your immune system. That way, if you do happen to touch your face or forget to sanitize or wash, or you're around somebody who's sick and you don't know it, one of those germs gets in you. And hopefully your immune system is so on top of things, it just kicks it right out. That's what I'm hoping, and that's what I go on. That's what I use. So anyway, that's my list. 7 things that you can do to keep yourself healthy while on a cruise. I think it's a really important subject, and I am really happy to have talked to you about it today. I hope that you found this information helpful. And if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments, because I'm always looking for new things I can do to boost my immune system or just keep me healthy on a cruise, because the one thing I want to keep doing is cruising a lot. And I don't care if it's flu season or not. I want to go. And I don't want to worry about getting sick. So I will continue to practice all of these things. I hope that you will practice some of them, all of them, or whatever it is that you do, and that you'll share it with me and everybody else if you have some other tricks. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you will return to watch the rest of the Breeze series. Check out my vlogs. On my playlists, I have others, Disney, other Carnival cruises, some celebrity cruises. Check that out. Subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. I love your comments, so keep them coming. And I will see you on Friday when I put up the next installment on my Breeze cruise. Until then, have a great day. Bye.